I should have recorded the beginning of this video in Cyprus, but I had no free time, so well, it is what it is. Hello everyone, it's me, Lisa, and welcome to my channel about co-creation. This is my overview of the Materials Week Conference 2024 that took place in Limassol, Cyprus on June 17-21. This is how it was. Just to give you a bit of background information, the Materials Week conference was organized to bring together all the different research and innovation communities that are working on materials innovation. There were communities focused on energy materials, graphene, nanotechnology, bioeconomy, lightweight materials, and others. We heard presentations from experts that are also focused on different parts of the innovation process, like those working on improving lab processes, those who work directly on developing new materials, those who work with policies, digital tools for innovation. We discussed different concepts like safe and sustainable by design, materials as a service. We were talking a lot about digitalization, digital twinning, standardization and harmonization, open data. We were talking about policies, regulations, how to establish this dialogue between science and policymakers, and all those different things. As the organizers put it on their website, Materials Week 2024 aims to be a catalyst for innovative and sustainable materials development by fostering collaboration and sharing insights across different research and innovation communities. We saw many young scientists presenting their projects, we saw industry experts, we saw representatives of the European Commission, of policymakers, researchers from different organizations, not only universities but also labs, non-profits. There were people from Europe but also from Korea, South Africa, Canada. So many amazing people gathered in one place, so a very diverse environment. We had 3 full days dedicated to presentations within 8 different sections. I'm not going to mention all of them, they're all available on the website and you will find the link below. If you're interested, just go there, take a look. You will also find abstracts on this website from all the presentations. Apart from presentations, there were also posters dedicated to all these different topics. There were booths dedicated to projects. At the end of the event, the best oral presentations and posters received awards. We also had a number of workshops, and Monday and Friday were dedicated to community meetings. There was so much information that I just need another week to put everything together. This conference for these R&I communities was organized by the community, but one of the main persons who made this happen, who brought this all together, is Steffi Friedrichs, and I had a chance to talk to her. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about this conference for the audience. So please, Steffi, tell me, how did you come up with the idea of the conference?
Thank you. The conference is in fact a community idea. So we were here at another conference 2 years ago, which was just at the end of Corona, and it may have been the great initiative and the great feeling of being here and being off one outside and traveling again after Corona, but we all really liked the location at the time, and we liked seeing our community again and our colleagues again to talk about science and to talk about the next steps and to talk about going back into the laboratory and now doing something. So about 2 years ago, as we were here, we said to each other that if we get the next round of funding for our projects, then those projects should set some money aside to support another community conference. And that was true. So in the same year, that was 2022, later on, we got funding for 5 projects for advanced materials. And those 5 projects decided they were going to go forward and put a conference together. And we brought many more colleagues in, and we actually took the opportunity to say we're now coming to the end of having many small communities of different materials. So we had a nanomaterial community, we had a graphene community. We had a community that looked just at safety. We had a community that looked just at digitalization. And we do know that for the future, to take the challenges of all of these hurdles at the same time in the research projects of the future of combining everything, we first need to bring all of these different communities together. And that is really what we did. So we tried to bring in more projects that were supporting the backbone of this conference going forward, and then offering people to come to the conference and to meet us here. And that left me, you introduced me as the organizer, but that left me just in the seat of having to set up the infrastructure, so website, and also saying we are going to support this with a society, with an association, because somebody needs to take the money and then pay the bills here in Cyprus, where we are. So that was done by the NanoFabNet, because the NanoFabNet had been launched as exactly a network and a community building association. So everything just happened haphazardly, but it came together very nicely. And our keynote speaker of the first day subscribed it to me as it felt like this was a family meeting, but I understand most of these people didn't know each other, and they actually got into this family feeling almost within a day, and that is great.
Yes, I completely agree. As someone who is, I'm not coming from the research background, but the atmosphere here is like super open, it's super friendly, it's so easy to network. So I really, really appreciate all the efforts that you put into this event, because you can feel this as such a friendly and really family event. So thank you so much. You mentioned that you wanted to bring all these different communities together, but are there any other goals for this event as well?
So one of the things that I think we need more here, also because our future funding will go into research projects that are much more application driven. So we are bringing in Europe at least, but we also have here many of the European partner countries, both associated and only mildly affiliated. So we have people here from Canada, we have people from South Africa, and they are coming here on their own research funding. But then we have the formally associated partners within the European Union projects as well. But what we see now is that we are bringing the current round of Horizon to an end, and we have reached the last part, which is always much more application driven. So what we really need is industry to help us take the applications forward in scale up, in commercialization. And I guess we need a lot more industry to come into the community and to work with us. We had some fabulous industry talks on the first day. We called them challenge talks, where we said, tell us what you would like us to speak about in the next 3 days. So we are here in order to build new little consortia to set our own agenda as to what are we going to do over the next 5 years, what we are going to write into our research proposals, what needs to be done. So if you can tell us what from an industry perspective needs to be done, that would give us a challenge and a task for the next 3 days. They have done that, but more than just telling us what needs to be done, we also need them involved in the community now and in the projects. And I understand it is a difficult time because money is short in industry, and going to conferences and joining research projects is not always top on the list. But this is like the preparation for being prepared in the future.
Thank you so much. So this is kind of your plans also for maybe next events to bring more industry, right?
Yes, indeed. I think we should probably do a lot more outreach to industry, and we should also bring them into the planning of the event a little bit more, so that they're not only here to tell the research community what they do, but that they can also get a lot of their own expectations and what can they take away from this event. We need to attract them. We can't just bring them out here as invited speakers and have them talking at us. We also need to make sure they really become part of the community at that stage.
So do you have any plans for the next event, maybe next year, or will it be biannual?
We were hoping, because it was in the end really down to the emails and all the registration and everything going over the desk of just two people. We were hoping to have a little bit more of of an organized approach and bring in more people to this. But in order to take this forward, we need to show that this can be done. It is a success. I hope we can show this after these 3 days. They're not over yet. We have another half day. I have heard many good things. People are really grateful to have made the way out here. It was a longish way for everybody, but lo and behold, the European Union goes out all the way to Cyprus and includes Cyprus. So we are glad to be here. Everybody was glad to have been here and to have met new people. I think we need 2 years of preparation. So thinking about, is this ever going to be repeated? We will probably talk about in 2 years' time and not next year, because it's almost too late to now pull that off again. But I've also just been stopped by somebody from a country that isn't Europe, that is actually far away from here. And they said they would be interested in taking something like that onto the international scale. And that is definitely something very interesting to think about.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we can keep the name, if we can keep the corporate identity of what we are, we may be able to retain the spirit and to broaden it onto the international scale. And I would just suggest we need to see. We may announce it for 25, we may announce it for 26, but we're definitely going to do something again, I believe.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear that, and the fact that just two people organize this is like insane to me. But like honestly, I think the organization is perfect, and yeah, it's just a great event. But also at the end of the event, you plan to publish a journal with all the different publications provided by participants, right?
Yeah. Yes, we have been offered to partner with a journal to be publishing the full papers of the abstracts that have been handed in. So we intend to publish our abstract booklet, which is already on the website. We have taken the okay from people if we can publish that on Zenodo, so self-publish it. And the full papers are invited to be submitted to a special issue in a journal. These are, of course, real research papers, but we also have a section where innovation reports can be published, which is essentially a report about projects and about a specific strategy that is taken in a project. And that will all become part of that journal that is our publishing partner. And they have also sponsored awards for this. So there will be something in writing that people can get back to and see what was actually discussed at this event.
Thank you so much, Steffi, for answering my questions. And again, thank you so much for organizing this amazing event and amazing opportunity for everyone to communicate, to network. And let's hope that it's gonna, it is a start of something great for the event and for all the communities that are here, also to explore something new and get their research to the new levels. Thank you so much. Now, apart from the atmosphere, what I loved about this event is that it gave me the opportunity to meet so many people from so many different organizations representing so many different parties. I had a chance to hear a variety of opinions about the projects, about the current situation of the market, about my favorite topic of industry academia partnership, about regulations, policies, and I appreciate every single person I met for sharing with me their thoughts, their ideas. It was extremely valuable. It helps to better see the whole picture. I also had my own presentation about opportunities, challenges, and potential solutions of these challenges in the market of advanced materials. And I'm going to start with opportunities. Advanced materials markets, all the different materials, they're growing. So there are some reports that the European Commission prepared, and according to these reports, we also see that the global demand for batteries is set to increase 14-fold by 2030 in less than 10 years. That's insane. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about whether European companies, I live in Europe, I'm rooting for the European industry, so I want to talk about whether European companies can take these opportunities. And of course, the gap, I would say this is not like, this is something that we all know. There is a gap between the university research, what is done in academia, and what can be brought to the industry. There is a huge gap. Let's not think about coming up with another strategy that we are going to discuss for another year. Let's not think about another framework. We don't need a framework. We just need to do step by step, and we will be moving towards something. The only thing that I would like to see next time at this event is more representatives of the industry. You know, I do have a feeling that all the different parties of this innovation world, they are speaking different languages. Academia has their own language. The industry players, they have their own language. But you know, the only way for us to understand each other, the only way for us to collaborate and find this common ground is to communicate, is to talk to each other. And this was one of the main points of my presentations, that we all need to take this step forward, to take this step towards each other, to meet, to talk, and to make great things happen, and to make sure that all these amazing innovations, amazing breakthroughs that are happening right now in the labs, we all can take advantage of it, and the whole humanity can get benefits and can use these innovations. I'd like to say thanks again to Steffi, Thomas, everyone who made this event possible. Thanks a lot to Christian for inviting me to this conference, and thanks a lot to everyone who was there for this absolutely amazing atmosphere. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Bye!